Welcome, welcome. I'm Viata, and this is Viata's Tiny House Village. We have got to talk, you and I, about building our house. And today, my brother and friend LA is going to help us understand the territory of not just TikTok, but the chessboard. There's a lot of chess moves going on in our political scene, and we want to help you be free from anxiety and stress because a lot of people are so anxious about what's going on in the United States of America, and you don't have to be. And we want you to focus on building your house. And of course, that means inside and out. But first, let me welcome my tiny house village with this great journey I've been on. So come on in, come on in. We welcome you to the village where we are a cooperative group of hosts, radio hosts, who are bringing you our experience in this life, in this journey to help you build your house, your legacy. So today, we're excited about TikTok, new adventures on TikTok, but we're also excited about chess, the game of chess, because there's been some checkmates recently in the White House, and people are missing it. And that's what this game is all about. This political scene is really about playing a chess game. So LA is on the phone with me. He was having some technical difficulties, so he couldn't really come up on the screen today. But he's on the phone, and he's going to share how we're continuing this building of your house. And we were referring to tiny houses in part 1 and 2, and then we talked to Prince Israel in part, I think it was part 2 or 3, about how he has bought land, hundreds of acres of land. He's building a community now. So we want you to have full knowledge and understanding about what it takes to develop the cooperation that's needed and the community to build whatever size house you want or need that's going to reduce your expenses and allow you to travel more or do whatever it is you want to do, go skiing, whatever. So, LA, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, thank you for joining me once again. LA is an entrepreneur, he's a radio host, and he's been really exploring TikTok. But we were talking earlier about TikTok is just another environment to build your legacy on, as well as knowing the game of chess, where LA is a strong, experienced chess player who knows about the location, knowing the board, right, LA?
Yeah, you need to know the board, which represents the landscape.
The landscape. That's what we were saying. So let's talk. Let's start out. Why don't you introduce yourself, LA, what you're doing and what you've been about for the last, 10, 15 years, and what you're promoting today?
Well, see, I got started in the housing business as a landlord since 1983. And the last 11 consecutive years, I was podcaster, blogger, whatever you call it. And they shut down the platform of Blog Talk Radio. So I have discovered, since the ban has been lifted, TikTok. And to me, TikTok is the best thing since sliced bread.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at now, learning TikTok.
Right. Okay. So TikTok or YouTube, it's all about developing your passion, your skills, your desire to build something. Okay, LA in his case, he's building a legacy. He's building finances. So when we're talking about building anything, we need to first and foremost check out the land. So in the game of chess, LA and I both play chess. I have to tell you, I don't know if I shared this with you, LA. My grandson and I played chess last week for the first time in a long time. And I thought, oh, I'll beat him because he hasn't been playing. This 8-year-old got down to a queen and the king. I'm not serious. I had about 5 or 6 pieces on the board. He was down. I had taken all his pieces other than the queen and the king. Do you know that that young man beat me? Now tell me how that can happen when in terms of knowing he obviously knew how to keep moving that queen over and over and over and over and over again until finally he got me in checkmate with a queen and a queen and a king. So how does that happen, LA? And that's what we all need to be aware of. How do we get stuck in these positions not understanding the landscape?
Right.
So how does that
Well,
happen?
for instance, like I said, the chessboard, which really represents life, you need to learn the landscape, because a lot of lessons that you can learn from chess, you can apply them to everyday practical life. So, for instance, how many squares are on the chessboard?
Don't ask me. I'm not counting.
See, well, if you don't know how many squares are there, that you lose your advantage, because you need to know how many available squares are available. All right. Well, how many pieces are on the board?
That's a good question.
I'm asking you.
I don't know. See, that's where a lot of people.
If you don't know, let's apply this to real life.
Yes.
Okay, now we all know that you're intelligent and everything else, but if let's apply this to real life. So if you don't know where to go, where it's safe to go, if you don't know the players or the entities or the institutions that are on a particular piece of landscape, okay, and you don't know the rules of how they move in those places, then you're at a disadvantage. For example, if you take, let's say, because people can't see me today, so I'm a black man, what people would call an African American or a black man in the United States. But it doesn't matter; it could be anywhere in the world. All right. So if I go into an area that I don't know about, I could be stepping into hostile territory if I don't know the language, if I don't know the rules, and if I don't know who are the authorities in charge. I could end up in trouble. I'm just saying. And that happens all the time. We see it in the news. So in the game of chess, okay, representative life, you need to learn the landscape. What are the safest places I can go, move by move, and then what are the rules? Which way can I move legally? Because in the game of chess, there are legal moves and then there are illegal moves. For instance, the king legally can only move one square at a time.
Right.
The queen, legally, if she has the space, because she can't jump over anybody. She can't jump over her own people. But the queen, given the legal opportunity, can move anywhere she wants.
Right.
But she cannot legally move past one of her own people.
Right. So what difference does it make if I don't know how many pieces are on the board? So because you're talking about details. When you ask me, well, how many squares are on the board? I don't know. How many pieces are in the game? I don't know. But I know how each piece moves. So what's
what your grandson did, man, you know what, you should have had him on. Let's get inside of his head.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. it came down to he had two pieces, right?
Right.
And what were those two pieces
The
again?
queen and the king.
All right, we already know that the king can only move one space at a time.
Right.
So his queen, oh boy, she did a whole lot of dirty work that day.
He did. And she did.
How many pieces did you have on the board when he finally got you in the check?
I probably had five or six.
Checkmate.
I had probably 5 or 6 pieces on the board.
All right, what did you have left remaining?
I had a couple of
You had a
pawns. I had a king, of course, and I think he took my. Did I have my queen? I don't know if I had my queen.
Oh, listen.
Maybe a bishop.
Did he capture both of your rooks?
Maybe.
The castles.
Yeah.
So he got rid of them.
Right.
He wiped out. Well, hold on. What about your bishops?
I think he may have gotten. I may have had one bishop left.
He got rid of the rooks.
Yeah.
And went to the castles. He got rid of the one of the bishops.
Right. I should have taken
knights, the horses.
I should have taken a picture because I think he got one knight and maybe a bishop and maybe the queen even, because I would have had more power with that queen. Yeah, I mean,
he got your queen too.
I was embarrassed. I'm telling you, because I thought I had him when he only had the queen left and the king. I thought, oh, I'm gonna trap him and get him. And didn't happen. Somehow he maneuvered his way all across the landscape, as you were talking about. He maneuvered that queen all over that landscape until he got me in a position where I couldn't get out of it. Because I'm busy.
Well, I'm busy. We can relate this to the book, The Art of War.
Yeah.
Basically, he beat you. One of the reasons why he beat you, he beat his nana, he beat his grandmother. Because she underestimated. How old is he? 9 or 10?
He's 8.
You underestimated an 8-year-old.
I did. And you know what? I realized when you're playing chess, you got to be offensively and defensively balanced, right? You can't be trying to take your king and not watching out for your men. Well, once he had 2 pieces left, I was on the offense. I wasn't even thinking defense because I'm like, there's no way he's going to get me with 2 pieces. And I left my pieces hanging out there for him to trap me. And finally, he got me trapped. So I was embarrassed.
Well, it's 3 reasons. You underestimated an 8-year-old, number 1. Number 2, you didn't know all the squares. And then you didn't know the power of all the pieces. 1, 2, 3. That's how you look.
So details, when we're building our house, details are important. And I'm talking both inside and out. We've been talking about building your own house so you can have a roof over your head. But if you don't build up your physical house, you're going to be in the grave. So LA and I are both looking at other ways to help people, to build communities, and to develop cooperation with the communities that we're working with so that we can build a legacy, not only build a legacy, but really change the environment and the landscape to help more people. Because with what our government is doing, they're changing the landscape of this country. They're changing how things operate. For instance, the Department of Education, people are upset that the Trump administration wants to get rid of the federal Department of Education. I'm 100% on board with that because our education used to be in our home. Then it was moved into the church, the local church maybe. Then it was moved into a little schoolhouse in the community. And then I don't know how we ended up with federal government dictating how we're going to educate our children. So I think what we're seeing a reversal of bad politics, bad policies that needs to change. But some people are not willing to make the adjustment. Number one, people are getting fired. They're losing their job. They're comfy little Department of Education jobs where the communities are being ruined and upset and crazy things going on like drag queen shows in the elementary school being allowed and funded. But now we have an opportunity, as LA will explain, to use tools like TikTok to not only build your own legacy, but build your family's education. Teach your children how this society, how this world, even because LA, please share about the global impact that we can have when we are involved, or even when we teach our children about something like TikTok.
Well, before we get to the TikTok part, of not going back to your game that you played, which will go with the TikTok thing, it's, and you're real close to this, and you're real good, you're a professional at this. You had 5 pieces on the board compared to his 2.
Right.
All right. Now, there's something that you're very good at, you're professional at. There's a name for it. What didn't you do where you lost your advantage?
What didn't I do?
Yeah, there's a name for it. You're real close. You're a professional at it.
That I lost my advantage.
Right.
Well, the only thing I kept thinking about, I didn't protect my king, for one.
Okay, what's another word for?
I didn't protect,
like protecting a property.
Well, defend or set boundaries. Only thing I can think of is defending.
No, we're
and
going
setting
away
boundaries.
All right, when you go into a house, what do you do?
You have a key and you unlock the door.
No, but what do you do inside the house?
Well, you cook, you clean, you.
No, when people have paid you in the past with your business.
When people have what?
Paid you, and you went inside their house and cleaned. What's that called? What's that whole process called?
Or you mean a business opportunity?
All right, maintenance.
Okay, maintenance. Okay.
You're real big on maintenance. If people don't maintain what they have, so where you really lost is you didn't maintain, because you're good at that. You can look at a house inside or out, and if a person doesn't maintain that house, the roof, the inside, if the dust has been there, you're even good at maintaining the body. What does it take to maintain the body for optimum health? So that's why you lost that game, is you didn't maintain the advantage that you had.
Well, yeah, and I thought I was maintaining by being on the offense, but I did not protect. See, to me, it's more like leaving my home with the door unlocked and then coming back and find out somebody stole all my stuff, because I didn't practice defending my house against burglars, like locking the door. They were able to come in because I didn't have any dogs on the house, on the property, watching the house. No burglar alarm. So it's 2 ways to look at it. Like you said, maintaining. I did not maintain my defense. I'll say it that way.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't build up my defense, so the house was robbed. Or in this case, I didn't look at all the ways to defend my king, my kingdom. How about defending our kingdom against attackers from the enemy, adversary, whatever? So are you playing the same game?
Good question. What I like about TikTok, like I say, to me, I think is the best thing since sliced bread. Now I'm still learning, because I'm like 2 weeks in right now. But if you want to do like what we're doing right now, like visual, we can do audio. Like I'm doing audio right now, but we can see you. So you can do that on TikTok, but on TikTok you can bring in 9 other people where it can be the same thing, where everybody can see each other, where everybody can not see each other. There's you can build you can build up communities quicker there, and you just have to learn how to. You can still. It's a whole lot you can do. So, because I was going to start up an internet radio station, but I said, yeah, you know what? Let me develop my TikTok game, because I just got monetized on that. I did not anticipate on getting monetized that quick.
And so, what are you sharing on TikTok that is attracting people to your site?
You know what? I'm supporting other people's groups at the moment. And then, when you get an opportunity to speak within their community, whoever likes what you're saying, they'll take a look at your TikTok profile or whatever. Mine is building solar homes. And, that's how I've been picking up the followers.
So I think what you're saying is engaging with other people.
Right, engaging.
Let's look at it in a community setting, even in your neighborhood. When you stop and say hello to your neighbor and get to know your neighbor, then you're going to develop a relationship which could lead to cooperation to build something between the two of you, right?
Correct.
So that's what we want everybody joining us today or listening in the future to sort of understand and get that the key to building your legacy, to building your future, your fortune, is to engage with other people and develop conversations and relationships. We didn't even say. So what you're doing, what I'm starting to see clearly, is that on TikTok, you have an opportunity to develop relationships with people who might live in a foreign country, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because
the way we're setting up Birdland Solar Village or villages is I found out that 20% of the people on the planet that own a home live in a home that's valued at $500 or less. 70 to 80% of the planet live in homes that are valued at $2,000 or less. So through TikTok, I'm able to tap into that market of people that are looking for what I would call ultra extreme homes, $2,000 or less.
Okay, so you're not going to learn about what people are doing and what you can benefit from and how they can help you if you're not listening and talking and communicating, right?
Right, and engaging with people in different places. Now, you can even do that within those prices. You can do that right here in the United States. You just have to know where to do it in the United States. You have to know the landscape of the United States. And using the chessboard analogy, 97% of the land mass in the United States is rural. So there are plenty of places where you can build a house that I would say is valued at $10,000, let's say $10,000 to $15,000 or less. You can build. There are people who have built $2,000 cabins, or even less than that, in the United States. It's not going to be in New York City, or Los Angeles, or Orlando, but if you go to the rural areas of Florida, of California, of New York State, you can do it.
Okay. So back to our first show, our part one is location, location, location.
Right.
That's the first step in deciding to build your own house versus living in an apartment building or some house that you're renting or some house that you're just building, starting from scratch. Your first step is to find the right location, right?
Right. Now, let's tie this into the chess game that you and your grandson played. Your grandson basically caught your pieces and got them off the board when they were in the wrong space on the landscape.
That's right. That's right.
And we can put this, we're not going to be talking about the politics and all this, but that's what happens to a lot of people in real life. The reason why you got into trouble in this particular spot, the reason why this person got killed in this particular spot is because they didn't know the landscape.
And I would add on a spiritual level, we always have to kind of bring in the spiritual aspect of things. That if you don't understand your karmic influence in your life, like for instance, why things are happening to you, why you're suffering, if you don't understand the dimensions that influence your particular life and what's going on, then you're going to be caught in the wrong space trying to figure things out when you haven't resolved the knowledge level that you need to have to avoid these things in the future. You know, you follow me?
True. Well, let me ask you this, because you're more spiritually grounded than me. I think we relate this to chess as well as this tiny house thing. I think the book of Exodus, Hebrews, if I'm correct, they were slaves in Egypt. Okay, which I look at Egypt as the government or the grid.
Okay.
But their promised land was somewhere else. And when they moved from one place to the next, now they had to go through the desert and the Red Sea and all that. But their promised land, once again, the landscape, they were no longer slaves.
Right, right.
Legally speaking.
Yes. So.
And Egypt exists today.
Right. Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
not the country.
Yeah, spiritually.
But from a spiritual mindset. Right. So I'll use myself as an example. Well, you already know I like tiny houses. You know where I like to buy the land and all that. To me, Miami is Egypt.
Okay.
New York City is Egypt. I can't do anything in those places. However, I know where my promised land is. It's in less developed places and rural areas.
Okay.
And I believe that's the case with most people. You need to know where your promised land is.
And these days, that is not too hard to figure out, because with all the chaos in the inner cities, people have to start developing. Again, I have a friend in Arizona who wants to leave her senior citizen complex because they're very restrictive about what she can do with her rocks and her tools and figurines and all the things she has in her lifestyle. They keep restricting her, want to evict her. And so she's ready to leave that area and move to South Carolina. And she says she saw in a vision, in a dream, that she needs to go to South Carolina. And I said, that sounds perfect. Anywhere where you can be free from the overseer, from the master, from the slave man, to do what you feel is the best lifestyle to bring you peace. Okay. And so I encourage her, you got to first find out that if there's a place in South Carolina that is going to cooperate with you and your lifestyle, because she's been in places where they don't want to cooperate with her. All the stones she puts out and all the things she's doing, they don't want to cooperate with her because they have too many rules. It's like a HOA. If you ever lived in a community of homeowner association regulations, people are running away from that, especially right here in Florida in a place called the Villages. The Villages is a senior community, fairly newly developed, modern, but people are leaving because of all the restrictions, the bugs, and people come down here from Chicago or up north, and it's
expensive.
And it's expensive, and just too many restrictions. And you ride a little golf cart in the neighborhood because they don't allow cars or something, and then you only have one parking space. And then all these restrictions are causing people to say, I'm in a slave plantation here. Can't do what I really want to do. There's no freedom. And so they're figuring out they got to go. And so they've started looking other places, Texas, I don't know where, but they're fleeing. And they probably have a little money set aside because not everybody can afford to just pick up and leave like they're doing. but the realtor was listing all the things, the reasons that people are leaving the villages, and it has to do with homeowner association. So when my son found this house, uh, he said, "Hey, good. The homeowner association is not involved in our lives. They don't have restrictions about how you have to keep your lawn a certain quality or standard. You can't paint. You can paint your house whatever color you want." And the homeowner association where we used to live was totally restrictive about everything. And so he's glad, my son's glad to be in a neighborhood where you don't have that, because it can be expensive to have to maintain everything according to the standards of the HOA and then pay these high fees. So what are we saying here is that when it's time for you to leave the chaos, the slave plantation, make sure that you find out where you're going to find the cooperation and community, and TikTok may be one of the tools that you can use to do that. Is that right, LA?
For me, it is.
So how has it been helpful for you in what you're doing? Tell people what you're doing in the TikTok community and how it's been really helpful for you developing a new community.
But right now, I'm just building up online communities where I can set up offline communities to build or develop small doors. DORF, door is the German word for small village. So a small village would be 3 or 4 houses. That's it. But those are real, and they're in many parts of the world. And so right now, I've only been on maybe barely 2 weeks, not quite 2 weeks. I've got over 400 followers. By this Friday, I should have 500. By the end of the month, I hopefully will have 1,000, or knocking at the door of 1,000. And well, let me lower the numbers down. I'm looking at, if I can build, now if when I build about, well, engage with, now here's the thing. I'm looking to develop 15 to 30, no, actually 12 to 30 quality relationships. So, because you got to get a lot more, and you got to dig through that to get to 12 to 30 quality relationships. Now, when I mean quality, it's like, I know you face to face offline. You know, we've had dinner together, lunch together, that type of stuff. So quality, because when you get to quality, then you can really work some miracles, if you need to work miracles in your life, or really to build something. And in my case, Solar Villages, which is a place where you can live in a house where you have no mortgage payment, no rent payment, no electric bill, no water bill. That's my goal.
You know, and I thought, you know, websites, I think, are kind of dying out in a way, because people used to really put a lot of work and energy into building a website so that anyone who's interested in building a relationship with you, community, or whatever, they could go to your website and learn more about you. But I'm not so sure they're as important as like social media, Facebook, TikTok. What do you think? Do you have a website, or have you ever built one to promote what you're doing?
I know how to build them, but I don't use them anymore. I got a Facebook page. I'm gonna tell you why. Because there's a use form, but it's not engaging. Right now, we're having a conversation. Okay, TikTok, you can have a whole bunch of conversations 24/7.
With more than one person, right?
With more than one person.
Right.
Okay. So it's in the engaging that you can sort of vet people and weed people out online, but then you can decide, you know what, I like to meet this person in person. It's just like when you go into Chicago for the book fairs, we've known each other, 10, 11 years now. So, but we know each other offline, so we're friends. So, put it this way, my goal is to meet 10 to 14 more Viatas, and I'll be financially free.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking at. And they don't have to be, when I say Viatas, I'm talking about quality people. So they can be men or women that are entrepreneurial, that are into bringing value into other people's lives.
Okay. Right. And so when you're on TikTok, you have to engage in conversations to get to know people, right?
Right. You have to that's what you do.
So
matter of fact, I've only had one conversation to talk about solar homes. And since I've been on there for, let's say, 2 weeks, I'm basically, when I'm into somebody else's community, I go on to their community, and whatever topic they're talking about, then I engage with them based on their interest, not mine. Now, if they ask about my interest, that's fine. But right now, I'm into their interest and helping them build their community.
Right, right. So I want to just share with my audience what my goal in activating or increasing my time on TikTok is I am a life coach. For those of you who are new to this channel, I'm a life coach. And so I have 2 YouTube channels or YouTube shows, Health and Wellbeing with Viata and Soul Purpose Healing. And then occasionally I have guests like today, and on Tuesday, Chief Amun and I are doing a show. But for the most part, I'm coaching people on how to get well. Now, I'm wearing right now my TikTok account is Linen Vibes, Viata's Linens. And linen, for those of you who don't know, I was trying to find the video to show you about the vibration of linen versus other fabrics. And I'll have to make sure I have that the next time I'm on. And the reason I'm sewing, I'm a seamstress. This is my latest linen, blue and white, which is going with my red, white, and blue, because we did a video yesterday on my birthday for Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, which is going to play on my TikTok. So my goal in developing cooperation and community with you, the listener, is to help you improve and increase your vibration, your frequency, so that you can have good health. So I will be showing you. In fact, let me just show you. I do have a website, and this website is designed to not only help you get to know me, but it's designed to help pique your interest in raising your vibration, improving your health. Oops, that's not it. Improving your health, and taking charge of your health, because the key to staying out of hospitals and improving your health is to know how to take care of yourself. So I want to just bring up my website to you. That's not it. I want to bring up my website and show you how you can learn more about linens, as well as my book, my new book. Let's see. Yeah. My new book, which I just republished. So this is my website, yourholisticlifecoach.com. And this is your first page. If you click on this section up here, Native Linens, you'll get to see some of the linens that I've created, and I have, and how you can wear these linens as poncho. They're native linens because they're designed to just have two holes in them and a trim on the outside, and to give you 5,000 hertz of protection on your body. See this piece right here you can bring over your head, and then this piece I just created, again, you can bring this over your head and have more protection in like cold air conditioned environments, which is why I love the design of these. If you're traveling in Florida, every building you go into has air conditioning that feels like you're in Alaska. So the linens that I'm creating are designed to protect you from the cold elements in Florida, if nothing else. And then if you go to at the top of my website, Fear to Faith ebook, you can get order my book for $7.99. It's an ebook, and you can order that at PayPal, or you can order it on Amazon. So this is an opportunity for you to read about the prevention of cancer, how the people in my life showed me, because of their traumas and dramas in their life, they were unable to overcome their disease. But if you can actually, if you can read books like this one, it'll show you how to overcome the fear, which is the main contributor to diseases. If you think back on the COVID, Corona madness, most of the people who became very, very sick had comorbidities, which is comorbidities are multiple imbalances in the body, like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease, high blood pressure. And if you can just figure out how to overcome, first of all, the fear that a virus or anything else is going to kill you, then that's the first part of the battle. The second part of the battle is emotional intelligence. That's one of the things I'm sure that LA is learning on TikTok, is that when people make comments about you or about something you said, emotional intelligence teaches you to respond with compassion and love and wisdom. You don't respond with anger and hatred and resentment. That's how not only sickness can occur, but how you're not going to develop cooperation and community if you don't know how to respond. So, LA, in your journey through TikTok, for instance, have you had or encountered any negative correspondence or communication that you've had to like take a deep breath and say, you know, let me think about how to respond to this person?
Not yet, but I live by something that Frank Sinatra said when I've had stuff hurled at me in the past. He said the best revenge is massive success.
The best what? Revenge?
Is massive success.
Okay.
So when somebody throws bricks at you, catch the bricks and build a castle. Well, my house, in my case, built a tiny house.
Well, yeah, whatever size, it's still your castle, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And if someone's throwing bricks at you, you move out the way, for one.
Well, like I say, you can catch the bricks.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, you could if you want. This you're strong
catch
enough.
The bricks and then just build with.
Or you just move over and get out of their way, because some people are going to always be throwing bricks. They don't know anything else, right? But if you know when that people are determined to be negative, then you're not going to keep trying to catch their bricks, are you? You're going to at some point just leave them alone, right?
Depends on your point of view. Like the book, I don't know if you read it, Seed of the Soul by
Gary Zukav.
Gary Zukav.
Yeah.
So the brick throwers, I look at them as, I consider them Zen teachers, teaching it that They're in my life to teach me lessons that I need to learn. That's how we met. Through the pod, I mean, the podcast was a result of that squatter that I had, who I reframed to be a Zen teacher. And then one thing led to the next, and I started the podcast. From that, had the person not been throwing them bricks and cinder blocks, and then I reframed it. Oh, this person's really a Zen master or teacher. And I wouldn't be here right now.
Exactly. So let me just real quick show everyone about, is your clothing healing or harming you? And this is my passion, to go on TikTok and share about your clothing that you're wearing, that you're covered in plastic and it's healing you, it's harming you. And this is a little video here about that subject, which I want everybody to be aware of when they watch this channel, of what are you wearing, what's covering your temple, your vessel. Is it harming or healing you? And is it helping you raise your consciousness and helping you vibrate at a certain level that you need to be on in order to survive? Really, it's coming down to survival, because when you realize how many plans that the government and people have had to reduce the population, okay, there's, whether it's our food, the chemtrails, and the COVID and all these other things, there's been a plan active to help reduce the population. So, and I'm starting to believe clothing is one of the part of the plan. They took the petroleum industry and created so much plastic, turned it into all kinds of products, uh, Tupperware, you name it, plastic containers, plastic, everything plastic, and the clothing, which we now know, if you're covering yourself in plastic or polyester or low vibrating clothing, this is what can happen.
Hey everybody, just want to hit a little bit on the clothing in which we wear and which clothing is toxic and which clothing is very good for the body. Now, this goes back all the way into the ancient time, when they said, "Thou shalt not mix linen with wool," because they understood the frequency of clothing at that time. And they started to know that there's certain types of clothing in which you can wear, which is very healing, such as linen or wool. That's why if you go into a hospital bed or you're ever in a hospital, they actually have linen sheets so that they can heal you quicker. So linen and wool are two of the top best ones you can be wearing, or organic cotton as well. All of those resonate at a certain frequency of over 5,000 hertz that actually start to heal the body. That's why when you start to wear, for example, linen, or you have like a wool blanket, it almost feels like home, because the fact of that material is so embedded into our DNA of such an ancient time of using those materials that they feel very natural and they're very healing. That's why when you start to wear, for example, linen, I'll put a linen blanket over you, you actually heal better, you'll feel better and you'll heal while you're sleeping. You can look all of this up. There's a lot of science with all of this. They've been doing this for thousands of years. They understood that. That's why back in the day, everybody used linen, wool, and specifically organic cotton. Then we started to change things, right? Then we moved into more of the...
Okay, so unfortunately, what he said about linen in hospitals is not true anymore. They don't use linen in hospitals. My friend was in the hospital in December at the VA, and I was checking out the linen and on the bed, the sheets and all, they were all polyester. So that just shows you they have let go of this truth, and they have stopped practicing something that should have been continued if they wanted people to really heal in hospitals, which they don't, because then they would lose a lot of money if people actually got better and didn't use the drugs that they present. So we're here today. We just wanted to remind you about developing cooperation, whether you're using TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Your goal should be, if you want to leave a legacy, if you want to succeed, if you want to earn money, whatever your progress is that you're looking to make, TikTok is very popular, very useful. And right now, one of the best, according to LA, one of the best ways to make more money and build a community, which LA wants to build a community. I would love to build a community here in Orlando where we can have sewing clubs and where we can have health picnics and things like that, and talk about books, because of course my book, I want to promote my book to help people prevent disease in their body. This is a season of purification of yourself. This body needs to be purified to withstand all the chaos that we're going to go through. It's still here, it's happening, and to build healthy relationships. This is the period, this is the time. We're going to be here as often as we can on YouTube. LA, how do people find you on TikTok?
Build Solar Homes.
Build Solar Homes. And now you'll find, and then they can catch you every day, right? Any day.
Oh, now I'm on there, but I haven't officially started my daily. That'll be Mondays at 10:30. Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That's what you're gonna have a regular show.
Yeah, regular
broadcast or
powwow.
Okay, so you're inviting people to join you every Monday, 10:30 on TikTok.
Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on TikTok.
Okay, and
just
you
type in Build Solar Homes.
Build Solar
I've got
Homes.
a group there. You can join the group.
And
it's free.
And you're going to be talking primarily about not just building solar homes, but what about around that topic will you be talking about?
Building solar homes, growing your own food, buying land by the acre at inexpensive prices. If you want to have a family compound, how to build one of those, how to eliminate your water bill, stuff like that.
Okay. So this is why we're here today, to remind you that the two of us are serious and dedicated to helping you develop cooperation so you can do whatever it is you need to do, whether you need to move from Arizona to South Carolina. We want to show you how you can do that by planning, and meditation is so important. I want to, in the last few minutes of this session, to play a meditation that I found that was so powerful. This is part of finding clarity. When you're doing meditation, the more you meditate, you're going to find clarity in making decisions about whatever it is that you need to do. So I want to offer you some music that I found on YouTube called Kaya. And it's a beautiful, deep African meditation music. And I want you, if you can, take about 2 or 3 minutes with us to just close your eyes, focus on what it is you want to accomplish in the next few days, not just weeks, but what do you want to accomplish in the next few days? And just breathe in and out with this music to help the music resonate within you, vibrate within you, and just flow within you to make things clearer in your mind, your body, and your soul. Close your eyes and breathe in and out. Listen to the music and the instruments. And just take yourself into a place where your ancestors are helping you. Your ancestors want to help you, to guide you, to help you build your future, build a better future. Inhale joy of your ancestors helping you. Exhale past pains and suffering. And just imagine that whatever you choose to build, your ancestors are right there to help you. Breathe in the truth and love of your ancestors. And breathe out any worry, fear, or doubt that you are going to be greater. You will do more things than they did because they can help you. And just breathe in and out for a few more minutes, or few minutes, and imagine all the help that you are receiving in the next few days to do whatever it is you're planning to do successfully. Breathe in, hold it, and breathe out. Breathe out any fear, worry, or doubt. Exhale. Inhale, joy for the things that are going to happen. In and out, breathing in truth, love, joy, all the things you want, peace in your life. Taking that in, exhaling, letting go of worry, fear, doubt, letting go of the past mistakes that you think you made. And breathe in the lessons, the powerful lessons that you now have to help you on this path going forward. Let go of the disappointments. Your ancestors are always there to help you. Just ask them. Ooh, nice breeze coming in. Right now, my ancestors are here. In and out, slowly breathing in and out. Now just slowly open your eyes, very slowly. Come out of the meditation, slowly open your eyes. And just bring your hands together and give thanks. Give thanks for what you are about to do and receive to make you prosperous, to make you more joyful, to make you more peaceful and harmonious, and to make you healthier. So I hope this time with us has been helpful for you to make better decisions, better planning, better choices in your diet, everything that we pray that this energy we've shared today will be of the most beneficial to you and your families. So we'll see you on tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be talking about, oh my goodness, so many things going on to help you improve your health on right here on Viada's Tiny House Village. It's Health and Well-Being with Viada. And I'll be going over some of the things about measles that you need to know and not be afraid of. So join me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., new time, 9 a.m., right here on Viada's Tiny House, and Facebook, Soul Purpose Healing as well. Shalom, everybody.